Behind the News, or BTN, is a news program targeting children. Targeting? Is that the right word? Created and televised by the Australian national broadcaster, the ABC. BTN has been around for more than 50 years and is shown across the country in children's classrooms. I had to watch it as a kid in school myself, although it was more about education and facts when I was a child. For example, the first presenter, Peter Sumner, reported, "The holiday for the Queen's birthday is this month. Actually, her birthday is not in June, it's really April 21st. But it's a tradition to celebrate the British monarch's birthday in June." Ah, classic. Fun fact, Peter Sumner went on to play a security officer on the Death Star in the original Star Wars. Nowadays, reports look more like this. Presented on Corner Country, the present-day Adelaide region of South Australia, and "Is Donald Trump a criminal?" The thumbnail of the video is even more telling. Trump found guilty. Guilty being written in the largest possible font that the ABC are legally allowed to use. This is the Department for Education in South Australia. Yes, they still have a page dedicated entirely to one particular infectious disease. But according to the department, BTN is an ABC news show aimed at children aged 8 to 13 years. So they used the word aimed. Earlier on, I used the word targeted. But it's kind of similar, right? To be a presenter on the modern version of the show, you just have to have long hair and a woke mindset. I'm not using that in a derogatory way. I'm using the actual modern definition. Alert to and concerned about social injustice and discrimination. And after forcing myself to sit through one episode of this show, this crew are definitely woke. For example, according to the BTN website, host and senior reporter Amelia Mosley is described as a person of Caribbean and British descent. She's passionate about diversity and representation. Amelia is always keen to chat about equality or the ins and outs of styling afro hair. And she's also a full-time cat mum. So yes, gone are the days of reporters dressed in suits presenting unbiased news to your children. And that brings us to the focus of this video, the Indigenous Voice to Parliament. You know, the referendum that happened more than 7 months ago. I thought that was over with. No, the ABC are keeping it alive by indoctrinating your children. Let's talk about the referendum. Noting this was only published a few days ago, May 29th. Australia said no. What's next? No matter what, the fight for justice and equality for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people has to continue. Although YouTube did put a notice, warning, on the video stating, ABC is an Australian public broadcast service. So that was kind of them, letting us know that there may be government influence involved here. Here are some quotes from the segment from the children. "It should have been yes, because that could have been real change. It's the one country that hasn't, have their community have a say, with their own parliament." Look, just to be clear, I'm not teasing or blaming the children here. They're obviously just repeating what the adults told them. Some mobs in South Australia I know, none of them voted because they didn't get told about it. As Aboriginal, we didn't actually have a say in it. They, non-Indigenous people, had the say. They chose our decisions for us. Australia isn't like a perfect country. A lot of racism goes on. I've really close friends. Their families had opinions, but I became almost victim to their opinion because of me being Aboriginal. I think that we should just keep on moving forward and wait till the next referendum to try to change our decision. Well, I hate to tell you, mate, there probably won't be another referendum. Well, not anytime soon. It would be political suicide for any party to try to push this again. But the most telling comment, which is one that is bandied about a lot, was from this little girl. "The next referendum, I hope it's a yes, so then us mob can finally have a voice." As I said, I'm not here to blame the children. But the irony is that for people who apparently don't have a voice, their voice is being broadcast to every single classroom across the country, and of course, over the internet. The whole Aboriginal people don't have a voice is a lie. If anybody honestly believes that Aboriginal people don't have a voice, well, that means Australians don't have a voice. We're all equal under the law in Australia. We either all have a voice or none of us have a voice. I think it's the latter. We all have a voice already. Any person can go to their local member of parliament or council member and make a complaint or have a chat about any issue they like. Or anybody could go online, like I'm doing now, and make a video about something they're concerned about. The only thing you need is the will and an internet connection, which I'm sure all these schools have access to. If some Aboriginal people honestly believe they don't have a voice, rather than try to con them into believing that they need some kind of special Indigenous voice body in the Parliament, why not teach them how to approach their local MP, how to shoot off an email voicing their concerns, how to arrange a meeting with a local councillor? Your voice can be heard, you just need to make it happen. Nothing is stopping you. Instead of teaching children to believe in fanciful voice bodies that will probably never exist in their lifetime, perhaps we should teach them how to make their voice known. I know, but BTN want to propagate this myth that Aboriginal people don't have a voice, and they're teaching your children this. There's a bit of hope though. As research for this video, I asked my son if they watch Behind the News at school. He's in early high school, and he told me they watch it every week. I asked him what he thought of the latest episode, and he just said, "I don't know, I didn't watch it. The teacher puts it on and plays on his phone, while the rest of us just have a chat. The teacher doesn't care." Note, this is a fairly reputable school. Although the teachers are forced to play BTN, it doesn't seem like they care if the children watch it or not. My son stopped paying attention in grade 6 when they started talking about transgender issues, not in a bigoted way, but rather, as he said, BTN has become so boring. Of course it has. When they try to preach their views to their audience just tune out. Nobody likes to be preached to, especially teenage children. I think this is a case of the ABC realising that the adults aren't listening anymore, so instead they're trying to target our children. Is this a children's news program or state-sponsored propaganda?